hands, his hair, and his eyes. Cutting.
My point here, Laura, is if that's what the head of the FBI thought about the commander-in-chief, the president, to whom he does report, even though he has a 10-year term and is independently appointed, the president runs the executive branch. The honorable thing would have been for James Comey to resign. That's what he should have done. How can he work for somebody he considers unethical? And he does work for the president. He is the FBI director, one of the most important and powerful positions in government that answers to the president. And so the honorable thing, if that's what he thought, would be to resign. He didn't do that. And James Comey, I know, has always been a grandstander, is still a grandstander, and this book just shows that even more so.
You remember the whole thing with John Ashcroft's hospital bed, and Comey was hiding behind the curtain to make sure that they didn't put that piece of paper in front of John Ashcroft, who was just coming out of surgery, to extend the Patriot Act. And Comey says, I'm the acting attorney general, and he pops out from behind the curtain and stands strong. And then him and Robert Mueller walked into the Oval Office and said, we are going to resign President Bush unless you back off this X and Y. I mean, that's somebody, I'll give him credit. The guy's a great presence. He can tell a story. He's certainly got confidence. But man, to think that the former FBI director would be commenting on the president's tan, on his strength, on how long his hair takes to get ready, and the size of his hands, while also talking about being bullied as a kid, and apologizing to Hillary Clinton for what? 1-866-408-7669. We're going to be taking more of your calls and going to Jillian Mealy, the Fox News fame, in just a moment.
With news and commentary next. If you ever want to buy a house or a car, you're going to want to know your credit score. If there's a mistake on your credit reports, you could pay more in interest rates and fees than you have to. Where can you go online to quickly get your credit score and credit report for free? CreditKarma.com/radio. Check it whenever you like. It's free and there's no catch. Don't get an unwanted surprise about your credit score. Go to CreditKarma.com/radio. That's CreditKarma.com/radio. Students at Hofstra University in New York have declared war on Thomas Jefferson, the author of the Declaration of Independence and our third president. He also owned slaves. A coalition of black student groups and gay rights organizations want the university to take down the Jefferson statue outside the Student Center. The bronze sculpture was given to the school by a trustee more than 70 years ago. Hundreds have signed a petition urging the university to relocate the statue to a museum or some other place so that perpetually offended snowflakes won't be triggered by microaggressions. The student activist mob says supporters of Thomas Jefferson need to check their privilege, and by privilege they mean white people. Don't be surprised, folks. This is what a cultural jihad looks like, and the jihadists won't stop until American history is turned into a great big pile of rubble. I'm Todd Stark.
From the 24/7 KXL Newsroom, I'm Dave King. Someone fired a bunch of shots into a home on Southwest Farmington Road in Aloha early this morning. The Washington County Sheriff's Office says no one inside was hurt. 2 people took off on foot, but deputies couldn't find them. The gang enforcement team is now investigating. A Milwaukee man still in shock after a bizarre case of road rage. Sean Van Walkren says he was driving his Mercedes on McLaughlin Boulevard Wednesday morning when a car darted in front of his near Southeast Harrison. When Van Walkren slammed on his brakes, the other driver got out of his car and approached his with a hatchet.
Proceeded to bash the driver's side window open, hit my steering wheel. There's a huge gash in my steering wheel.
Van Walkren tells KGW the angry driver then turned to the windshield and kept swinging. He eventually took off. He was driving a dark gray Mazda 3. 970 weather, light rain, but mostly dry today with highs in the mid-50s. From FM News 101, I'm Dave King on Freedom 970.
Are you a business owner or a plant supervisor in need of getting construction, machinery installation, or plant maintenance done the first time and on time? Then call High Caliber today. Demolition, dismantling, fabrication, High Caliber does it all. HighCaliberNW.com, CCB 206844. Breaking news, men. A 2016 clinical trial on controversial natural nail enhancement pill known as Red Forterra shows significant improvement in performance and pleasure, enhancing both size and virility. Men, you will be bigger. This trial reveals this new miracle sex pill works on demand. No more improvements in their husband's performance and their own resulting sexual satisfaction, noting significant increases after just one pill. Clinical trial data suggests significant improvement in sexual satisfaction and sexual desire in both partners. The science is clear. Better virility, bigger size, more satisfaction with Red Fortera.
Then you will be bigger. You only need to take Red once to see what all the fuss is about. Let us prove it. Call now to get one free pill free while supplies last. Call 1-800-608-6271. 1-800-608-6271. That's 1-800-608-6271.
Hey, remember the mortgage meltdown of 2008? Have you tried to refinance since then and been turned down? Or maybe you haven't even tried because your credit score is stuck at 585, or your tax returns have too many write-offs. Well, Cash Call Mortgage has great news. We have refinance loans for people who have been told no. And what's doubly exciting is that we can solve your mortgage problems, and our total fee is just $995.
Wait, Cash Call, are you saying you now have credit and income-solving mortgages for people like me? Are you kidding?
You heard right. We have credit or income-solving loans with a $995 lender fee. Call 855-875-CASH, and we'll work with you to solve your mortgage issues. Make the Cash Call at 855-875-CASH. That's 855-875-CASH. First Mortgages, Impact Mortgage Park, DBA Cash Call Mortgage, Twin City Boulevard, Orange, California, 92868. NMLS 128231. Equal housing lender, not licensed in all states, including New York. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing terms and restrictions. That's 855-875-CASH. 855-875-CASH.
Do you know where to find the best steak? Butcher Boys. Best carne asada? Butcher Boys. Best darn pork chops in town? You guessed it, Butcher Boys. Laura's here for my favorite local meat shop, Butcher Boys off 4th Plain in Vancouver. Go find out why I use Butcher Boys. ButcherBoys.com. You're listening to Brian Kilmeade on Freedom 950.
Is the Brian Kilmeade Show.
Says he may want me to investigate it to prove that it didn't happen. And then he says something that distracted me because he said, if there's even a 1% chance my wife thinks that's true, that's terrible. And I remember thinking, how could your wife think there's a 1% chance you were with prostitutes peeing on each other in Moscow? I'm a flawed human being, but there's literally zero chance that my wife would think that was true.
Okay. That is James Comey, a cut from that they just released from an hour interview that he has with George Stephanopoulos on his brand new book, Higher Loyalty. Julie Amelia, if you're smart enough to watch on Facebook Live, is in studio, going social media crazy.
Yeah,
Frank. Frank saw Fox and Friends first, and then Fox and Friends, and then she came up here, where she questioned me extensively of why you booked me.
I said, you had me on the show once. Why did you bring me back?
Right. I mean, there's a little self-esteem issue here. Why would someone want to come back? In fact, again, you met me. Why would you want me around?
You see me for hours a day. Why do you want to see more of me?
You talk to me. All right. So first off, on that, I find him so mind-boggling. Everything he says comes off so sincere, but then you listen to the words and you go, what are you talking about? I think it's such a natural reaction to say, wait a second, this is, even though I'm president and a high-profile figure, I'm more worried about my wife and what she thinks than I think that's really a good quality. Comey doesn't.
I think you mentioned it on Fox and Friends yesterday. You said, I think it was you said, I'm excited to hear all of the different interviews, especially Brett Baer's interview, because you're going to see the differences in these interviews. You're going to see the differences in the questioning and the answers. Personally, I don't know how you feel about this stuff, but I almost feel like listening to these little snippets of information and the clips that people are posting and the networks are posting is almost sometimes more interesting than the actual book when it comes out. So
you see his body language.
You see the body language. You're going to see the variations in the answers, and I'm more curious of anything to see that, the variations.
So number one, let's be honest. Donald Trump has lived a life in the guy, going through 2 marriages, his divorce. He's been on the front page of the New York Post, the Daily News, probably the Philadelphia Inquirer, wherever you grew up around the country. Everybody knows Donald Trump. He's got casinos. He's got international interests. He's got golf clubs. He has a football team.
He's not typical.
He's not typical. So when James Comey has this life in law enforcement and law, you have another guy who's on the front page of every magazine going to every big party for 40, 50 years. We know he has problems holding on to